Hello and welcome. In the wake of this constant stirring of racial tension, it appears the same question continues to come to the forefront from our African American parents. How do I talk to my child about racism? I am here to share with you some tips and some suggestions to consider to help that conversation move along. Now, like any conversation, you really can't engage without an understanding of the subject matter. So I believe a good first suggestion is to understand what racism is and how it impacts your life in particular. Now, this understanding will help you kind of hone in on specific topics of the subject matter that you would like to target and share, which will help you formulate an outline to guide your conversation and keep it from wavering away from what you really want to convey. Once you have that understanding established, here's a few things to consider. Consider your audience. If it's an early stage in life, consider, are they ready for such a subject? And if so, to what extent? Then consider your timing. Consider when you should begin with them and the type or the specific type of subject matter and the delivery that you want to deliver. I would suggest that you get an early start before someone else starts injecting their own beliefs to them. However, they are your kids, so you would have to determine the timeline to when, how much, and which way you would like to open up their understanding to racism. Consider the tools that you can use to utilize in your assistance. So we have the internet, DVD, movies, documentaries, library books, national and local news, real-life role plays, and just the total extent of your own creativity. Once you've considered all that, most importantly, consider yourself. You got to move at your own pace and comfort level because it may be hard to communicate some things without being overly passionate or stirred, which means you have to be able to bridle your own emotions and self-regulate what you're saying so that your teaching produces awareness and knowledge as opposed to fear or hatred in response to the lessons that you're trying to teach. Now, a few tips I would like to give outside of my considerations is, in your child's early stages, help them become aware of who they are, where they come from, their ancestry line, their rich heritage and culture that's attached to their ancestors. Teaching what I would call a racial self-identity. Also, you want to grow and cultivate in your kids an internal, impenetrable self-worth and esteem without lessening or tearing down other races. But also exposing them to others that resemble their complexion, teaching their accomplishments, and African American historical contributions which may not get taught in the schools that they attend. Also, slowly introduce different subject matters and let their questioning determine what they can or cannot handle. Don't shy away from the subject, because without preparation or at least an introduction to the racism topic, you'll put your child in a position to be ignorant and unaware to the world around them, leaving them unguarded and unprotected when they have to face racism themselves. And my last tip of the day is always promote change. See, racism in and of itself is negative, so when talking about it, don't leave the conversation in a negative state. Always talk to your children about how they can make a difference. Letting them know that just because we've been at this racial divide for such a long time, and sometimes you don't see the change, it only takes one to bring about change. Teach them about the ones who didn't accept the power or influence of racism. Teach them about the ones who did not let it break or destroy their self-worth, the ones who helped us as a black race get to the place where we are now, further than where we once were. And keep assuring them that they can also be one of the ones that can help push us further from where we are now to where we can one day be. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening.